let's talk about the one and only Miraculous Ladybug, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, New York edition. Hola, bonjour, hello. So today is my first Miraculous Let's Talk About It, which is crazy because we have a lot of Miraculous content on this channel, but we actually never had a Miraculous Let's Talk About It because I think when this channel first started, I didn't do Miraculous content. You'll see like bunch of like puppet videos. So yeah, so this is crazy that this is our first Let's Talk About It. So yeah, and before I start, I'm just going to mention that I do have a community video type of thing called I Can't Decide, You Choose, which is basically I give you like a bunch of questions and then you could like put in the comments like what you want to see in the future. Nobody has done it yet, but I would love some like people trying to do it just to like see what everybody like thinks and wants in the future. Like, is there any like big questions you have about Miraculous? And anyways, let's go on to and this video is going to be laid out a bit differently, so I'm going to write out some topics I want to talk about, and then I'm just going to talk about those topics, instead of going, like, nowhere, and just making everybody so confused. So I'm going to be talking about the topics. So the first thing I'm pretty sure everybody has been talking about is the voice changes, and I feel like there has been many like mixed emotions about the voice changes. Like some people like it, some people hate it. I'm one of those, I don't feel comfortable listening to the voices. There's only a few voices I'm like, okay, I'm fine with this. Such as Chloe's. Chloe's voice was like one of the few that have not really changed. Like if it changed a slightest bit, I can get very uncomfortable, and I do know Nino's voice actor has changed, and that's why his voice might sound different, and probably why his was the most uncomfortable to listen to. Sorry. But I've been watching the show for 5 years now, and I grew up with these voices basically for 5 years, ever since the episode Lady Wi-Fi came out. I always been watching the show, and it's kind of weird to me to have the voices change, and I never really, and like with the series, like when I rewatch the episodes, I kind of notice a slight change of voice, kind of. But that's likely because the show was just starting and they didn't really have that good of quality. And I also noticed the animation changes a lot, and that's because DQ and ASMG, of course. But like, this was a big difference, and I do not like it. Honestly, I do not like it. 'Cause like, I feel like if you don't watch a show, if you never like grew up with it, then you'll be like, oh, this is amazing, like I love this, like this, they sound more mature. And but if you actually grew up with it, you'll hate it basically, and that's kind of what I noticed. But yeah, anyways, please bring back the old voices, please, because I can never get used to it. So please bring it back. So that's just my thoughts on the new voices. And by the way, you're not going to see that good of editing like I did on my last video on Chris, on is Chris working with Hawkmoth. And yes, I am blaming a 7-year-old for working with a huge supervillain, so yeah. But you're not really going to see as good as the editing, because I basically don't really have that much of a script, kinda. I never really had a script in the first place, but with the editing side, I have to do the faces before. So I'm just going to have the smiling face, and that's it. So sorry if the editing's not good, but I don't really have a script. I only have the topics I'm going to do it on. So yeah, just going to make that clear. So, okay, so my next thing is how Ladybug's powers work. We got a definition on how Ladybug's powers work. And I actually do have a theory on why she has the miraculous ladybugs. And some people are saying it's because Ladybug because Hawkmoth Miraculous was always meant to be for evil, but I honestly don't think that was the case, because the Nuru would probably be evil. But I'm probably going to make a later video on that as well. And I'm probably going to try to throw some more shows into it, like Glitch Text. I feel that would be an interesting show to have some theories on, but it's going to be hard because it's on Netflix. So that's going to be hard. But yeah, I'm going to try to maybe come up with some theories for Glitch Text. That's one of the shows that I personally enjoy a lot, and I just finished it, so yay. So once season 3 comes out, I'm going to be going through the Glitch Text train, so yeah. So how can Miko not have her memory erased? I'm probably going to have to come up with some reasons for that as well. But yeah, that's just my thing. So yeah, but in this, we got to know how Ladybug's powers actually work. And I might be the only person who actually enjoys this, because I don't know, I just enjoy stuff like this. I enjoy explanations kinda. But I also enjoy those shows that kind of leave you in the dark a bit. Might just be weird. But I needed an explanation, and we also got explanation on how nobody can recognize them. So we've been too hard on all the characters. We've been too hard on all of them. Adrian, he deserves it. Let's be honest, Adrian deserves it. But everybody else, sorry. I'm going to give this apology from everybody except you, Adrian, because you actually deserved it. Because Marinette is still waiting. Well, not really waiting, but Marinette has been acting crazy and you can't see it. And we got a lot of just a friend lines, and I feel in this special, and I feel Marinette could just feel that, but we got explanation. So basically Marinette's power, Ladybug's power, is just to change anything from one villain. And I actually have and you might be but how about Catalyst? How about the season 2 finale? How about reflect? How about reflect the well, here's my how about Reflecto and Reflecta? They actually have been following this rule since the very beginning. And you might be like, what? Then how about those 2 episodes? Doesn't really make that much of sense. They have been following it. And do you want to hear? And this is why, because in the season 2 finale, Ladybug was actually fixing the damage of Catalyst. That's right. So Catalyst was the one who created all the monsters, so Catalyst gave her power to Hawkmoth, who created it all over. But without catalyst, and none of it would happen. So, Ladybug and Cat Noir were fixing the damages of catalyst and Hawkmoth. So that's how her lucky charm and her miraculous ladybugs worked. And with Reflectall, Reflecta didn't do any damage, let's be honest. She never did any damage. But Reflectall did. So Ladybug probably fixed... So, wait, no, it's Mr. Bug. What am I thinking? Mr. Bug fixed the damages of Reflectall, not Reflecta. So, yeah, that's my little, thing. They've been following that rule for a very long time. And we also got explanation to, how nobody can recognize them. So, take a moment to just appreciate the characters, especially Ollie, and say, you are smart. Sorry for thinking otherwise. So yeah, that's just wanted to put a round of applause. So next topic. Okay, I was so surprised at the scene. Why? Cat Noir almost gives up being Cat Noir. And I'm actually going, so I just put down a bunch of topics, so I'm actually going to switch. So my next topic is actually going to be Cat Noir's Adrian/Cat Noir's emotions during that special. But he gave up being Cat Noir, what? And I love Marinette's reaction. She's like, no! And she's trying to cover her eyes so she didn't see who Cat Noir was. And Marinette's emotions, she was so mad, but then he just gave it up completely. And I'm just going to move on to Cat Noir's emotions because it kind of fits in with this. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about Chat's emotion, and sorry if the audio is a bit weird right now. I just switched the camera, so yeah, that's why. I'll actually switch it back 1 minute. Okay, I'm back to the original camera thing, and yeah, so Chat's emotions. So Chat's emotions were going all over the place. He felt like he failed. He felt like he didn't want to upset Ladybug, and Plaid kind of led him in the wrong direction a bit. And he just felt like he failed everyone with him basically cataclysm Lenny, and he was lucky that Lenny was just a AI slash android. I'm going to be calling her an android, by the way, since that's the easiest for me. Thanks, dog. If you want to see that dog, you could check out Danger, because he's a star. But yeah, Cat Noir was going all over the place. I kind of felt a bit like he was going through, he was sad, he was kind of depressed at that time. Not saying he will be forever, but at that time he kind of was. Let's be honest, he was. And you feel bad for Chat. And I love how this special kind of focuses around him a tiny bit more than the others. I feel like that's really but you also realize if the episode focuses on him, then he's going to have a bad time. And you kind of see that a lot. And I also hope that Adrian would have stayed in New York. I'm fine. And even, but I think Marinette's words with I can never imagine being Ladybug without him really meant a lot to Chat, and kind of gave him the strength he needed to fight and be able to still be Cat Noir. And when Cat Noir got back, and Marinette and Ladybug ran up saying, "Never do that to me again," feel like that kind of gave Chat a bit more confidence and strength. Kind of like that was kind of the push he needed to keep on going. And like it's just like how like every person that it's just like how Chat gave Ladybug strength when she knew that she made a mistake in the season 3 finale. And like Chat was like, "What?" And yeah, like Master Fu and Chat both gave her the strength she needed to keep on going. Even though she knew her mistake was like massive and she could never take it back, but I feel like it's just returning the favor with Ladybug doing the same thing with Chat. Even though he put the whole city of Paris in risk instead of just one person. Well, I guess they both did, technically, but, like, there has been many times when Ladybug felt like she couldn't do it and she was a wrong pick. Also in the Origins. And Chat needed to be there. So I feel like this was just returning the favor to Ladybug. With Ladybug calming down Chat when he's sad or nervous. So yeah. And like even in the Collector she did, but that wasn't really like that big in my opinion compared to those other 2 times that Chat helped her. So I feel like she was kind of returning the favor. Next topic. Okay, we gotta talk about the Adrianette scenes. I love all the Adrianette scenes. They're the best. So we got to see, and like I kind of think Adrianette might happen one day. They have to happen. Like, and there are so many scenes where it shows that. And I was kind of going crazy every time Adrian just called Marinette a friend. Like, you sure? You sure about that? Like, huh, you sure? You sure? So, yeah. Anyways, like, the scene with the moon is kind of just like, the way that Adrian remembered Chloe's birthday and dancing with Marinette. And like, we don't know when this takes place, but like, we could probably guess that took place like a couple months to a year after Despair Bear. That's probably our most reasonable guess. So yeah, just wanted to make that clear. Like, Adrian remembered that, and that scene was precious. That scene was just precious. And I'm just going to moment, like, Alia also remembered. Like, Alia is, like, the best. Like, yeah. I find Alia a better friend than Nino, honestly. But yeah. Let's just go on to the next topic. Okay, so the next one is going to be on Marinette's indecisiveness. What do I mean by this? Like, what do I mean? I mean the way that Marinette can't, like, think, like, can't decide. And, like, it's like, we could tell that Marinette, like, kind of, like, Marinette wants to be with Adrian, but she also wants to be with Luca. And this special really, if I ever call this a movie, sorry, I know it's not a complete movie, but I've been calling this a movie for way too long, and just let me call it a movie, honestly. If it's above 30 minutes, it's a movie. That's my rule. But, like, Marinette could not decide on Adrian or Luca. And I feel like New York was kind of the push we needed. Not for Lucanette, not for Adrian, but for Adrianette. And I feel like this was like kind of a push we needed though. Like, this was a push in the right direction. Again, not for those 2 ships, but for Adrianette, it was a push in the right direction, and like Marinette decided that she's going to try to go back to Adrian because of New York, and she's going to like try to go to Adrian but like not really go to Luca, and I feel like that's going to be great, but I feel like that's going to be like a good storyline, and yeah, I feel like she needs that, like she deserves it to be with Adrian. Like Adrian's perfect, and even Andre says, but the opposites is what attracts. Is that what he says? Is that what he says? I'm going to get yelled at if that's not what he says in season 3 finale. Is that what he said? Like blueberry and raspberry uncommon mix, but the opposite what makes it what attracts. Is it that? Yeah. As you can tell, I don't listen to Andre at all. But yeah, I'm just going to throw that out there for. But Marinette was really indecisive. Like, I feel like this was kind of pushed in the right direction, and we could tell Marinette still had a bit of a crush. We all still find that. So yeah. Okay, sorry if this clip sounds weird. Again, I kind of change of position a bit, but if there's no weird thing, then yeah. So my next thing is going to be the only thing that I noticed, and I probably the only person who cared about, was Pixie Girl. Where was Pixie Girl? This was a perfect opportunity. So I really wanted the Pixie Girl crossover for an extremely long time, ever since I heard about Pixie Girl, and I wanted it so bad, but it never happened. Like, why can't they just have a Pixie Girl crossover now? And like, I was so upset when I watched it. I'm like, where's Pixie Girl? I need Pixie Girl. And yeah, this is probably only me who cares about this, but I needed Pixie Girl. Like, this was a perfect opportunity. Like, I'm like, this is going to be it. This is going to be the Pixie Girl crossover. But it never was. Maybe in, like, season 4 or something, Pixie Girl will come over and do a little crossover. And I'm literally only thinking about, like, that Milo and Phineas Ferb crossover line. Like, you only live down the street, so crossover anytime. That little joke. But, like, yeah, I needed a Pixie Girl crossover. Like, I just needed it. But anyways, this is just my thoughts and about Pixie Girl needing to be in it. I just needed Pixie Girl. But let's just get on to the next topic. I'm probably the only person who cares about Pixie Girl being in it, so yeah. Now Sparrow. So Sparrow, I actually never thought would be Jess. Is that her name? I think it is. I think it's spelled Jesse. Or is it Jessie? I'm just going to call her Jess. I'm going to get yelled at if I mispronounce her name. By the way, for the android girl, I'm just going to call her Lenny. I don't think they ever really got the names clear, like. Plus, like, I was too busy screaming at the screen to listen for the names, honestly. Like, ah! But yeah, I was too busy screaming at the screen to know the names, so sorry for the people who actually care about the names, but I'm just going to call them Jess and Lenny. But Sparrow was so interesting. And I actually thought Sparrow would be a minor character, but Sparrow was one of the main. Like, I thought we would focus more on Majestia and Night Owl, while Sparrow would just be a sidekick. And that was really not. Like, I feel like that kind of, like, brought a bit of a message. And, like, it kind of, like, Sparrow kind of brought a bit of a message to everybody, I feel like, kind of did. And, yeah, like, you, like, seriously, like, I'm not even kidding, like, it kind of did, and kind of, like, I'm making no sense, am I? But, like, how do I explain this? But you kind of need, but, like, Sparrow, like, I love Sparrow's, like, arc, and I was so surprised, and, like, they kind of brought, like, a little message about, like, Sparrow, how, like, Sparrow and Night Owl, like, hid from everybody that they were girls and not boys. I mean, like, Night Owl seemed to just be a boy, but Sparrow, like, it could have been either way, but that kind of was, like, a little, but I feel like Sparrow, but, like, they were able to reveal at the end. So, yeah, I feel like that was really, like, good. And, like, Sparrow's little arc on how, like, she could never do anything to, she has a miraculous, like, she can be a hero. Now just went on, and, yeah. So, I just wanted to point that out. So, let's just go on to the next topic. Okay, so my next topic is Lenny. So I'm just going to call her Lenny since that's the easiest thing for me. And I'm probably always going to call her Lenny. I think her real name's like Lenny Bay or something. But I think her name is like more, I think she has like a French name. And I think she has a French name and I could barely pronounce English names, so we'll just have to stick with Lenny for now. So I'm just going to stick with Lenny. Lenny, okay? But with Lenny, I feel like her little story was pretty interesting. She didn't want to break the rules. Like, she didn't want to at all. But, like, Jess, she kind of, like, pushed Lenny to break the rules. And everybody treats her like she isn't like she is a human. Like, everybody treats her like that. And, like, I see why, too, because Lenny's a good character. And, yeah, like, they gave Lenny a bit more respect. Like, I feel like Lenny got a bit more respect than Jess, and it would make sense, because Jess was kind of more of a troublemaker than Lenny. Like, let's be honest, she was, but anyways, I kind of feel like, how do I explain this? Like, she kind of probably, like, needed, how do I explain this? Like, how do I explain this? Like, Lenny was not a troublemaker. That's the only way I can explain it. But, like, she was the one who explained that humans are not actually, like, not smart and miraculous. So now we have more miraculous logic, and that's how robots can detect who ladybug cat is. Wait. If that's the case, then how about the Hawkmoth akumatize Markov and then have him tell you who Ladybug and Cat Noir are? That is the only way. Just do it. I think I got your solution to how you can. But again, I don't think that Hawkmoth knows how to. I don't think he knows that robots can detect, but that would be interesting. Be like, Markov be like, your son. Yes, just have that. I need that. That would just be amazing. Like, I don't know. Like, that would just honestly be amazing. Like, let's be honest. But anyways, Lenny's like a heart, like was a sweet character, and like she seemed like human. She seemed like human, and I don't know why I love like stories of like androids. Like who else remembers that show I Am Frankie? That was on Disney Channel, I think. Either Disney or Nick. It was one of those two. But I Am Frankie was amazing. I love that show so much. So I feel like that kind of gave me more. She kind of gave me a Frankie vibe, kind of. So yeah, let's just get on to the next topic. Okay, so I kind of didn't like this. Like, I kind of had a problem with this, and it's on how there are so many superheroes. Like, there's a food superhero. Why? Of picnics and parties? Why is that a thing? And it also kind of gets me wondering, like, is everybody a superhero? Like, it seemed like the mayor's a superhero, like, why? And I kind of didn't like it. On how everybody's superhero. Like, I always like a miraculous, like, idea that, oh, there's two superheroes, they have miraculouses, and yeah. But you also have to wonder, like, none of the superheroes are helping. And, like, wouldn't New York get destroyed all the time? And, like, where's Spider-Man? Like, why isn't there a Spider-Man crossover? I just want these crossovers so bad. Okay, I always wanted a Spider-Man and a Miraculous Ladybug crossover. Because I love those two superheroes, and I would love them to meet. I just would love them to meet together, and, like, I even think there should be, like, more, like, fan art on, like, Ladybug and Spider-Man, like, because they're so similar. Like, I feel like Ladybug and Cat Noir are kind of like Spider-Man. Like, Ladybug's design is based on Spider-Man's, while Cat Noir's puns are based on Spider-Man. Like, I'm not sure if they are based, but, like, they're so similar. Like, why don't you just cross them over? But, yeah, I kind of had a problem with, like, a bunch of people being, like, a superhero, and I just didn't like it. It was just, like, where did you get your powers from? Like, where? Besides technology. Like, where did the doorman get his powers? Like, why is that a power? And, like, why? Like, couldn't we just have, like, no, like, 2 superheroes? Like, 4 superheroes? Like, 4 superheroes, I would have been fine, like, but, like, hundreds of superheroes? No, I ain't going to let that fly. Like, why? Like, why don't you, like, spread these superheroes out across the U.S.? Like, why don't you just spread them across the U.S.? Like, I never seen superheroes anywhere else. Like, I never seen superheroes anywhere else. So why don't you spread them out? So yeah, that's just my little opinion. Like, why don't you bring some superheroes you have to like Britain? Because I didn't see any there. So, like, I don't like how New York's just hoarding their heroes out. Like, let's just be honest. They're just hoarding their heroes. But, yeah. So I don't have any more topics for today. I overall really love this special. Like, it was so emotional, and I just loved it so much. So much. And what do you guys think about this little episode? And I think, was this the first episode that aired on Disney Channel in English first? This might be the first one. I think it is, actually. But, like, I love this episode so much. Like, I love it even though there was no Pixie Girl. And I am still sad about that there are no Pixie Girls in it. But I love this episode, and I'm honestly, and like, there were some things I would change, like, we need Pixie Girl! But that's it. So, I guess I'll see you all next week on next week's video, and goodbye!
Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to check out all of our other videos. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. See you all next time. Goodbye!